Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the 7-Minute Takeover, where we chat all things acquisitions. We're your hosts. I'm Liz Prey.
I'm Eamon Gamble.
In this episode, we're chatting about an acquisition accelerator. What do you do when you need co-investors? So, Eamon, walk us through what types of co-investors and why we would need them.
Okay, so today we're actually going to limit our focus to mainly self-funded searchers. We're not talking about traditional search funds here where you're raising a fund in advance. We're thinking more of the solo searcher who's found a deal that they really like, and they probably just don't have the equity to make it happen themselves, and they need to go out and find some co-investors to help close that deal. So in that situation, to make the structure work, you need a little bit more equity. Who should you go talk to? What different types of investors are there? And what should you be thinking about as you reach out to those people?
So a couple of the different types are family and friends, those closest to you who you have relationships with can invest with you. Accredited investors. So those are investors who may not be known to you, but their personal net worth meets a threshold that allows them to invest in different investment classes. And so those are the two most common in self-funded searches, but there are some others.
Yeah, there are actual funds that invest into startups or into acquisition opportunities, rather. So in Canada, people like Sage Capital, and in the US, Prox Capital are different examples of that method. And then there's also corporates that may want to invest into their own sector, but in a different way, and so are investing in you coming into that sector. And so when you're talking to these different groups, some of them may actually handle deal flow a little bit differently from one another. So as a searcher, I guess the starting place is, where do you meet these people? How do you find them?
So searchfunder.com is a great resource. You can search for other conversations that have happened in the past where people were looking for investors and others have made posts. Eamon mentioned a few different funds. Entrepreneurial Capital is another one. And so sometimes when you first make contact with these funds, they will make introductions to other investors for you. They'll also, if they like your deal, they'll share that deal amongst their network. And so usually it's still a very underground market. So another tip is to chat with other people who are raising or people who have raised and closed a deal. And oftentimes they're happy to share some of their investor network with you. So it can be a networking exercise to puddle jump from one investor to another. And it can take some time. So be sure to be interviewing investors at the right stage of your deal. So it's good to find those investors before you get into LOI, because it's also going to give you more credibility as you're searching for a business. So we'll chat about what some investors prefer versus others.
So there are different approaches, despite what category they're in, whether they're a fund, a family office, a high net worth individual. Some of these investors are more relational. They want to get to know you. They want to actually help. Some of these you may find are retired executives who want to still be in the game to a certain degree, and so they'll want to help you on your way, think about evaluating companies, think through structuring. These are very valuable partners to have, sometimes a little bit too involved. And then there are others that say, hey, now that I've met you, now that I understand your background, come to me when you've got a transaction. Come to me when you've got an LOI. And so both of these can be certainly valuable, but play different roles in your search.
Yeah. So it's something to find out early, and it's just that. Ask them when they want to become more involved. And so some will straight up tell you, I want to see this deal before you make an offer. Bring it back to me when you find something that you want help evaluating. Or some will tell you, no, I only want to see it after LOI. So that's one of the distinctions you want to figure out is, okay, who's in my pre-LOI bucket and who's in my post-LOI bucket? Something else to ask is, what's your minimum check size? What governance requirements do they have, if any? They may tell you what deal structures they will consider and if it fits in their box or not. So you'll know very quickly when you're looking at an opportunity whether a certain investor will look at that deal and invest in it. So you have to kind of track everything that each investor has in their investment criteria. as you're interviewing and courting these investors.
And you said something interesting, which is governance requirements. One thing most searchers get a little bit confused by is the terms that they should offer to potential investors. And so it does come down to what the preference of that investor is to determine if a certain structure is going to make sense for them or not. Really, there's only two things you can offer to an investor. One is economics, the other is control. If you are looking to have them have a little less control in the business, maybe no board seat or veto power over major decisions in the business, minority control versus majority, those types of things, you may need to offer them slightly better economics, aka a higher coupon or other incentives to make up for the lack of governance. Or if you're giving more control, you may be able to trade off by offering a little less certainty on the economic side. So understanding what they're looking for on that side will also help you determine who's going to work well together as an investor.
To learn more about the economics and investment terms, we've recorded some episodes that are on our YouTube channel, and you can find those on the Village Wellth YouTube channel. And what else, Eamon?
Well, that's probably about it for 7 minutes. We could go into this topic for hours, so we'll save that for a future video, Liz.
Sounds good. Check out the YouTube channel and those episodes on raising capital. Take care, everybody.
See you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to subscribe, follow us on social media, and check out our website at villagewellth.com.